Hi, Lana. How are you? We'll just give it a couple of minutes. See if we get anyone else to pop on and watch. Say hi if you're there. Hoping that everyone can hear me. Oh, hello, Joanne. How are you? I'm a little bit early, so I'll give it a couple of minutes. If you can't tell, and I've put this up a little bit too high, I'm going to have a play with some new collage papers tonight. And you'll have to forgive me, I am still 3 weeks later coughing. So I've literally dosed myself up with whatever I can. I have Vicks on my feet, I have a soother in my throat, and I have a drink bottle next to me. Hi June, how are you? So I was super keen to get on and do a Facebook Live because I'm going to have a procedure done and I'll be away for a while, so I won't be live for a little bit, but I do have some scheduled posts up, so you'll see me about then. Alrighty, what time have we got? Nearly 7. 8, sorry, 8. Oh, hello Linda Pearson, how are you? Are you feeling better? Now, I think I'm just going to fiddle just quickly with my light. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. I'm getting there. Oh, good, Linda. I'm glad. I honestly haven't been this sick. I don't think I can remember when I was last this sick. It's certainly a standard cold has hit me hard, apparently. Anyway, welcome to another live with Natalie May Scrapbooking. If you haven't met me before, I'm Naomi, one of the brand ambassadors. And tonight I'm just going to have a little play in one of my journals. Now, if you are not on our creative community, please join as part of the group. We do put up lots of inspiration there. Oh, hello, Alison. Oh, influenza A. Oh, I don't think I had that either. And I still was crook. Yeah, we do put up, there's monthly challenges where you can go in the running to win a gift voucher from Natalie May Scrapbooking. There's lots of inspiration on there. Often you get, there's specials on there that you know about before the normal community. You also get heads up about, I think Nat put a heads up the other day about the creative retreat. All that sort of thing. So, and it's a good spot where everyone shares their craft. So it's a lovely community. And yeah, hi Karen, how are you? So make sure you join along. Nat's also on Instagram as well. So of course, all the goodies are at www.nataliemay.com.au. All right, let's have a look. So I have been working like a mad woman in my craft room to get some pages done so that I can post over the next 2 weeks when I'm away. So I've got these 2 left that I haven't used out of the small one. I think this is called, I can't remember what it's called, but they changed the name on the one I have. Anyway, I happen to be up to number 16 in my color cube. If you haven't seen the color cubes, there are a box of these things. They give you color inspiration. I don't always use them. Because sometimes I use my focal point as my starting point for my colors, but it's sometimes nice when you sit there and go, what colors am I going to use? And it just so happened to be that I pulled this out and I've got these two girls yet left. So I'm not sure which girl I'm going to use yet, but they're my colors. So this is how I use the color cube. Now tonight I'm going to create in my DIY Nellie Mae journal. So these are $13.95 on the website, and yours doesn't look like this. It's just the cardboard, it's the string, and it's the blank papers on the inside, and there's a video instruction on Nat's website. Oh yes, yes, they would, Linda. I don't have those. I've run out of space for my paints, so I'm going to have to make an extra space when I get home. This was one that we did at 2023 Creative Escape. It was a class with Nat. I've got another one in my drawer ready to go for my next journal, but this is a really nice little size journal. The paper's good enough to take your different substrates. If you joined me last time, this is the one I created in here, but it's just a really good size, especially for me to do a live on, and you can pull all the papers out. So I have already pulled out a paper, and I'm going to work on the front side of it, and I'm going to just move that over there so I don't get it in the way. Now, looking at our colors, so all I've done is pick that one of those collage girls is going to be on my page somewhere. I haven't decided yet. And these are my colors. And I've pulled out the colors, and that is all I've planned. So I'm just going to go with the flow. If you know me, you know I don't plan well. So now, if you haven't seen these, they do have numbers on the back and colors. I don't really try to make sure the colors match because you're never going to get exactly colors. I just try and get as close to it as possible. Mustard, obviously I went with Dina Wakeley's mustard. That's a dead giveaway. She also has an olive. I went with Sedona for the flame. Then I pulled out my desert sand for the taupe, which I thought was pretty close there. And then I was like, camel. I don't really know what camel, but I just pulled out tobacco from Art by Marlene. So you don't have to exactly match. I just tried to go as close as I can just to help me with a different color palette than I'm used to. Now, these colors to me are not my go-to. I have got better with working with these two, especially with Nat's new collage papers that have come out. I've been working with these two together a lot. Adding in these three, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do. So this is what live Facebook is all about. So I am going to have to pick which girl I'm going to use. Now, this is the front side here, and I might fold it over and pop a piece of paper under here just to protect the rest of that. So because she's facing that way, inwards to the page, she's kind of facing the other way. I think I'll go with this one. Now, just to take her out. Now, I'm not showing you anything you haven't seen before. I've just got a wet paintbrush. I'm just going to tear away. I'm going to tear a bit of that colour off. Not all of it, just a little bit, but I'm going to tear close to her. And I'm just doing a little bit at a time. Nope, that didn't work. Now she will be for another one. So this one, I think it's got a day at the races. You get 4 girls on it. I've already used 2. All right, so I'm just pulling off a little bit of it. Oops, and I'm about to lose my papers. I'm sorry if I've changed my desk around and I'm not, it kind of looks okay on my screen. I'm just not happy with where everything's sitting, so I haven't got used to it yet. I was meant to be working at home for the last 2 weeks. That was planned so that I didn't catch COVID in the office before my procedure. And I've ended up being at home for 3 weeks. One of those off sick, mostly. And then the other 2, it wouldn't have mattered. They wouldn't have let me in the office anyway with the terrible coughing I've been doing. But so far, so good tonight. All right. And I really need to get rid of it before I go to the hospital. So I am going to put her a little bit off the page there. So first things first is I'm going to put her down. And I want her down because I want her onto the white, because I want to keep those light features in there behind her. You can put it over the top of your paint, but just be careful that it will, just trying to find my gel medium brush. It will change the colour of the lighter parts of your collage paper. All right. I'm super excited that Facebook has decided to cooperate tonight, because the last few times I've done a live, it has decided that I don't need to see anyone's comments on my iPad while I'm filming on my phone, unless I had my iPad sitting up in portrait, which of course none of my iPad covers allow it to sit up in portrait mode, do they? So I had to kind of sit it up in a weird spot on a smaller screen, and I couldn't see things properly. But I tested it tonight and it has fixed itself. So whatever is going on in Facebook land, I'm glad that it's sorted itself out to my benefit, because it was quite painful. And I really didn't want to get out my brand new laptop because it doesn't have any paint splatters on it yet. And I would like it to stay that way. All right, so I'm just using gel medium over and under to seal her down. You can't watch it on your smart TV, not so smart. Oh, no. You can't watch Facebook on your smart TV. I think I've done that once, maybe, when I was watching Vicky Booten. Normally there's football on my TV, so I don't really get the choice. And I can hear it on now. Typical Thursday night in my house in winter. Oh, hey, Lynn. Thank you, lovely. I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. All right. I'm going to dry her off just because I don't want that gel medium to be wet. Now, as I said before, the paper that comes in these $13 kits it's a good quality cardstock. It's thickish. I'd say it's like 180 to 200 GSM. Oh, thank you, Karen. I trumped the footy. Is that because it's the Rabbitohs playing? But it is. I mean, you can put any paper in there. This is just an A4. I think it's A4. Might be trimmed down a bit, but you could put any papers in there that you want. You just fold them in half. I was quite happy with them. I'm not using texture paste on anything, so it doesn't have that heaviness. I haven't used magicals on it or watercolors because I just didn't think it had the thickness, and it's definitely not watercolor, but you could definitely put, I've got a bubble under there. You could definitely put watercolor paper in there and make it into a watercolor. But it's the outside part that you really want that for. All right. So now what I'm going to do is start to bring that color out. Now, I'm not really sure how I'm going to bring these browns into it. You all know me. I don't do brown well. But I will start with sand. Now, I'm just going to grab out my tear off paint palette. Pop that here, because that makes it so that I don't put my hand in paint, which I have done a fair bit. I'm not going to put a heap of that out. And I'm going to use a small, what brush am I going to use? I'm going to use a small Art by Marlene flat brush. And I'm going to just start with a bit of this. I've got a dry brush, a bit of this taupe, whatever it is, desert sand. Now, if you missed it, I did gesso my page. Now, I'm not liking that already. It's simply because of the colour. All right, so I'm just feathering that over there. I'm leaving that. Now, before I put my next colour on, I'm going to grab out a stencil. Now, I have no plans, so I'm just going to pick one of these little folders and I'm going to pick a stencil. Let's have a look. What can we do? Well, let's use this one. Isn't it funny how things change to be your new favourite? I actually designed this one for Nat, and I loved it at the time, and then I didn't use it, and now I use it all the time. It's becoming one of my favourites at the moment. All right, now I'm going to try a little bit of tobacco, and I'm going to have a fresh baby wipe, because I'm going to pull it back where I want to. Right, so that's not too dark. I'm going to put it in more than one place. Now, you know what I'll do if I don't like it, don't you? I'll just completely gesso over the top. All right. No, I'm going to go that way. And I'm just going to rub that off. Clean that off. Okay, where did my paintbrush go? Here. All right, I'm going to do the same in here and up here. I'm being really careful around her hat and the collage paper there, because I don't want to have to rub the collage paper too much. Now, who's having a play along tonight? And what are you creating if you're having a play? All right, I like that takes that punch out of that brown. I'm not good with brown, and I will never pretend to be. It's my hard color. I love how Tammy says it about orange, but I'm much better with orange. All right. I'm going to bring in a bit of this mustard because I want to cover up that and bring some of that out there and there. I think mustard is going to be a very well used colour from this Dina Wakley colour she's done. It's quite nice, and I do use it a lot. And sometimes I even use it with lemon. It's just that darker colour. And I mean, look at that. Nat has literally matched it to that. So I'm just going to feather that out a bit. And then what I might do is grab a sponge. So I don't like that bit there. So I'm going to grab a sponge and another stencil. What am I going to use? Just this dotty marks and dots stencil. And I'm going to grab some of that paint and just finish that edge off. So then that's hiding that combination of those two colours there. I might add a little bit of that just over here. I'm not going to cover up the whole brown. I will keep some of it there. And maybe a little bit up there too. So it's just to bring that colour out onto your page off the collage. Yeah, that's quite good. I like that. Right, just clean my stencil because I don't like dirty stencils. Not too bad anyway. I always giggle when Claire's like, I don't clean my stencils, and I'm like sitting there scrubbing my stencil because I like my stencils clean. All right, and then I'm going to pop a bit of that colour up here. Just with a dry brush, whatever's left on my thingy here. All right. Now, I'm going to bring in this Sedona, and then my last colour I'll bring in is the olive. I haven't quite worked out how I'm going to bring that olive in yet, but we'll see. Have I missed any comments? Oh, hi, Grace. Thanks for joining. Hopefully you're crafting along. You're cleaning your desk so you can mess it up again tomorrow, Linda. Oh, I've just done that today. I've cleaned up my desk in my lunch break, and now I've messed it up again. All right, so I'm going to blend that colour there. And then I need another stencil. Actually, I might use the other end of this stencil. Just to bring that back a little bit. It's a bit harsh. Yeah, that's good. All right. And then down here. I'm coming up into that brown. That pooey brown. And I'll do the same thing there. So where the brown is there, that will strip that back to the brown and that part back to the white. Keeping a bit of balance there, and then I'll pop a little bit up the top as well. And then I need to bring this in together, so I'll have to bring up another colour. Maybe the green, maybe not. I might add the orange there a little bit. So what we want to do when we're adding these collage papers is we want to hide the line, so it looks like it was part of the page and not plonked on there, and pretend like we drew it and not Nat. All right, so we'll just do that and then bring that line down here. All right, and I've still got a bit here. So I I think I'm going to stamp with the olive. Look out, I might get out my new Dina Wakley stamps. I haven't used them yet. Right, I might bring that yellow back in. And I haven't cleaned my brush between these. I'm just going to blend these two and combine them in the middle. I've kind of got a mixture of the two there. And then might grab a different stencil. If I'm not quick enough, it'll dry and it won't come off. Okay, my go-to stencil. This is my dirtiest stencil. Hide your eyes. It's so dirty. Oh, I might have missed my chance, I know. Some of it's coming off, that's okay. All right, that will give me enough interest for something. All right, so that's our bottom layer. Messy bottom layer. All right, now the green is going to come over the top, but before I do the green, I'm going to do a bit more mark making here. So I am going to bring that, I think I need a different stencil. Might go this Get Squared one. I've been using this a lot lately. So I'm going to grab that Sedona. And I'm going to get that on my sponge, which has flown across my desk. Now I don't want a heap on my sponge. I want it to be quite dry because I don't want it to go everywhere. And I'm just going to overlap that orange I've already got there into that yellow. So that just kind of hides that line, and I'll do the same down here. So we're hiding the lines where the colors join. Yeah, like that. Now I'm going to strategically place this one down and be really careful when I go down near the hat that I don't get it on her hat. Just close enough. And I'm going to go down here as well. I promised I wasn't going to cover up all the brown, and I haven't, just mostly. And I'm just going to add a little bit in down here, just a little bit, just to bring a bit of that orange in down here. Yeah, like that. Okay. Make sure I haven't missed it. Oh, hi, Wendy. Oh, you haven't really missed much. I've just put the collage paper on and then done some stenciling, really, and some colour. So, welcome, lovely. But, of course, you can watch these back at any time. They're on the main page there for a reason. So, go for it. All right. Now I have a pile of stencils over here. All right. Now, while I've got a little bit of this yellow left, you know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to put some splatters on there. I'll just get a thin brush, add some water to there. Now, why do we add splatters? We add splatters because it gives another interest to the page. It puts extra marks, and that's what we're doing here, is we're making marks on our page. So just adding, and like, you're either a splatter person or you're not. I'm probably a little bit over the top with my splatters, but I do love doing it. And I don't want it on her face. So there we go. I'm going to quickly dry that off. I'm going to wipe that up because otherwise I'm going to put my hand in it. Just quickly dry that off. All right, that's good enough. Now, what I'm going to do next, that's really hot. All right, my new D-Nut Wakely stamps. I couldn't resist the sticks with leaves. Love the saying. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to do some stamping down the bottom, and then I'm going to do my leaves up the top. So, a bit of sweat happening there. I'm just going to grab a little mark making stamp. Now, where's my, I had all my paper artsy stamps out here. Yes, here they are. So I'm going to use my new ones, the Seth Apter ones. And I think I'm going to use this one here. So this is still available on the website, I believe. ESA 40. So it's one of the new ones. I also got the ESA 41, and I've already used that one a fair bit already. So this is, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to bring that black up a little bit. Now, water brush. All right, make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, so I'm only going to use a little bit of this stamp, probably the bottom half, and I'm not looking for a perfect impression. So I'm just using my hand, making sure I've got on there, and I'm going as close as I can to her there, and I'm actually going to go stamp. I'm going to go up the page as well, and then a little bit over this side. So that just kind of ties the black in with that. And I'm not going to do any more on with that stamp. Oh, I do like that stamp though. That's going to be used a lot. All right. Just going to quickly dry that off because the ink is really wet. All right, now, I'm just thinking I would like a really fine script before I go on any more. And I've got a Paper Artsy mini one somewhere. I think this is it. Now, I can't keep up with the Paper Artsy mini ones, but this is MN75. I believe there's a different one out now which is very similar. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in there. So I'm going to get, I've got Panadol, Nurofen, cold and flu tablets all over the place here. So I'm just going to use a sticky note just to mask off her face because I want to put that in there. All right, now with scripts, you need to sometimes make sure that No, that's upside down. So you just need to make sure that, although you can't read this, you can tell if it's upside down. And I've already stamped once on there, so I'm just going to lightly... Didn't put that where I wanted to. Lightly stamp there. And then I'll add a little bit over this side. And a little bit up there. All right. Sorry about the twisting there, needed to get the right angle. Okay. I'm actually really loving, I've got this, if you saw my fire one that I put up the other day, it's this new one from Paper Artsy, and it is JM77. I always put them in the wrong way. But I just cannot stop using this one. I won't use it on this one, but it's really cool. I've used it on about 3 of the girl projects I've got coming in the next few weeks. Alrighty, let's move on to my leaf stamps. I think I may have to do something here, but my quote might go there, you know, just to cover the brown. All right, what did I do with my leaf stamps? Okay, so I am going to use a block for this because I want a full impression on these, and I'm going to use them first with ink and then with paint. So let's have a look. I love that the Dina Wakley stamps come with this Doovie lacquer, so I can get rid of the paper and the plastic and just keep that. So I think I'm going to put that one underneath. All right, so it is quite a big stamp. Actually, might be too... Oh, I'll just use a little bit of it. What do I do? Okay, yeah, I'll just use a little bit of it off the page. All right, I'm going in. All right, so I am going to start up there. And we will put a bigger one here. Oh, that is nice. And then another one there. I love that. Oh, do I do another one? Yep, I'm going halfway down the page as well. And I haven't forgotten about my olive colour. Don't worry, it's coming. I have a plan for it. All right. You can almost get that off your stamps if you rub it straight away. Almost. Pretty good. All right, I'm going to put the black away now. We've got enough black contrast on the page. I'm really loving that colour on the screen. All right, and then I'm going to pick, I think I'll go with this one. And I'll also put that on the block. Now, I need to dry this first so that it doesn't smudge. So I'm just going to do that. All right, and now I'm going to get my olive out. All right, this one hasn't been used for a while, so I thought I'd give it a bit of a shake. And it doesn't matter because it's clogged. That's what happens with the ones that you don't use. All right. I'm a little bit nervous about putting Olive on the page, to be honest. But it's okay because I'm pretty sure it will go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread that out with my finger. And then I'm going to dunk my stamp. Oh, that's a nice stamp for paint. Beautiful. All right. So I'm just going to lay it over there. Oop. You can't even see that one. That's okay. I'll do a double layer. That's better. All right, I may need more paint. And then another one in here. It's not too much. It's not strong. And then another one just down there. I will have to put some more paint. So it's not going on there because of the colour underneath well. So what I might do is use a sponge. And I'm terrible with my sponges. I always leave them on my table or in my little tin that I put my sponges in, and then they're dry. So I'm going to use my sponge to put the paint on to the stamp, just so I get a bit of a bit more control about how much paint's going on there. And you can perfectly see where they line up on here, which is great. Yep, that's better. I still need more paint though. All right, take 3. That's better. And then I'll redo the other 2 as well. Now I'm working quite fast here because I don't want the paint to dry on my stamps. Yep, that's good. And the last one, which is only the top half. I'll just relay that. All right. Making sure that you take your, I should have actually done white underneath that to make that stand out a bit more, but that's okay. I'm going to outline it anyway. So making sure you get your paint straight off your stamps is not optional. It's not a preference one. It's a non-optional one. All right. I like that. I'm okay with the green. I really am. I am going to do a couple of little splatters down here of this green, mostly because, you know, like the leaves are dropping bits, and I've got a bit of green on here, so why not? Now, we'll cover her up again. And I'm just going to go near those leaves. All right. I think my medication must have kicked in because I was literally having a coughing fit before I got on here. So obviously something worked. I did only just have my cough medicine half an hour ago, so that was probably well timed. Alrighty. I'm nearly there, ladies. So thanks for joining and watching and sticking with me. Not quite there yet. Got to finish it off, but that's pretty good. Let me have a look at that color cube. So, you know, I think I did pretty good with those colours. I'll have to take a photo of the colour cube swatch with that. Now I'm just going to dry that off, and then I'm going to do some doodling and a quote. All right, so because I want those green ones to be in front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my black pens. So I need a black, oh my God, what have I done? I've literally dumped all my pens in there this morning when I had to clear my desk for work. All right, so the green I want to bring to the front. So they are going to have their exact outline. And then the black ones are going to have a white outline, but they're only going to be the ones that are underneath or that are showing through, if that makes sense. So just do a bit of a doodly line, a double doodle. And then let's take that away. Actually, no, let's leave that there. Have got a little bit of a curl, but it's just because I've used the heat gun. So just outlining those in black. We'll just bring it to the foreground. I think it's quite funny that Tegan and I were doing our crafting with Nat's new girls, and Tegan said, "Oh, this is the one I did," and I said, that's funny. We both used the fire girl, and then I've done one with the siblings ones, and then Neve put up one with the siblings ones, and it's not the same, but it's very similar. But I did it without seeing hers, so it's funny how people take the colour from what's in the collage paper and make it into something. And obviously using the colour that's in these is a good starting point for your pages. All right, so to bring in a bit of white, I'm just going to outline. I'm having a lot of trouble with my white pens lately. If it's not the Life of Colour ones that are playing up, it's my ballpoint ones. So I'm only going over the black ones where it's under coming out of the green one, if that makes sense. So I'm not going under there because that leaf is underneath. So these are the lower leaves. And my pen's not working really well, which is okay because it's giving a bit of a scraggly look, which is kind of working. And it's definitely dry, so it is definitely working. I'm just going to turn this up the other way so I can doodle properly. So anyone that's going to Paperific in Melbourne, I'm taking some of my shoes that I've done to Melbourne with me for my surgery, and the lovely Jackie is going to pick them up so Nat can put them on display. So they'll be on display in person. All right. That looks pretty cool. I will bring it up to camera shortly. Yeah, quite like that. Now, I did have a quote that I grabbed already, and I happened to grab white, so that worked. My sense of humour earns me countless awkward glances. True. I'm just going to trim that off a little bit, and then I will pop it on and finish with a border. No, I won't trim that off a little bit. I do like to cut these. So this is from Nat's quotes. I'm not sure which one it is. I've cut them all up into 1,000 pieces so that I can just grab a bag of quotes when I need. And that's bringing more of that white balance in. So I'll just grab my, I'm on the end of one of my Art by Marlene sticky glues. All right, my sense of humour. There's me countless, oh come on, awkward glances. All right, nearly there. 3 more things to do. So bringing back that black pen. First of all, we can get rid of that. I am going to do a bit of a border. I do like to have a border on most of my pages. So yeah, if you missed it at the beginning, this book is this page. This page is out of the DIY journal book, which is very nicely priced at $13.95. Nat has done a video on the page of how to. I think it's on a YouTube page, or I think it's on both actually. And I'm just outlining these quote parts to make them stand out too. And then I just need to bring some white splatters in to just bring that all together. Yeah, $13.95, and you get the album with the string, with the pages, with the cardboard, and how to put it together on the video instructions. You don't get these collage papers, but wow, I'm going to put one of the new collage girls on my other one. Just a quick splatter of white. Just use my Art by Marlene white, because white brings balance, and balance in a page is essential. So I am going to cover up her face and probably her arm. Don't have to put it everywhere, but I'm just going to bring a little bit over here. And there we go. All right, let me bring that up. I'll just have to make sure that the camera catches up there. So there we have used A Day at the Races. So it's the collage paper with the 4 girls on it, and she was one in the corner. We have got some Natalie May stencils, the Get Squared, the Twisted Yarn, the Dots and Dashes, and then we've got our Dina Wakley stamps with ink and stamp over the top. And then I've used a script mini paper artsy mini, and some Seth Apter stamps down here with some Natalie May cuttable quotes. So thank you for joining me. I will have some inspiration for you in the next couple of weeks posted, but I won't be live for a couple of weeks. So thank you very much for watching me, and for your support. And just remember, all the things that you need are on nataliemay.com.au, and I believe it's 15% off paper this week. So make sure you grab yourself a bargain. and enjoy. Thanks, Alana. Thanks, Amy. Good night, ladies.